Yo, Bones, are you hyped for this new update?
Dude, I'm so hyped. Let's go.
Oh my god. What about Swain? You hyped?
What?
Is he
Swain?
What's up,
Swain,
man?
get up.
Swain,
Oh.
come on.
Wake up.
Hey, everyone.
Dude, there's new stuff. There's cool chroma.
What?
Come look at this.
Wake up.
What?
Wake up. We're going. Get hype.
What's a chroma? Hey guys, Sleepy Swain here, ready to podcast.
Sleepy Swain. What is this?
It's like, it's
bit
like
you're doing?
It's like, you have your Kermit thing. I'm just gonna be sleepy because I am.
That's not a character. You can't just go to bed.
It's a bit. It's fine.
I know how much sleep Swain gets on the regular. I think Sleepy Swain is just an adjective you can just use to describe regular Swain.
Yeah.
Sleepy Italian Swain. Hey, yo, I'm sleepy.
Crossover! Great.
I'm gonna go into bed.
Why am I up so late?
Yeah, revenue on top of revenue. Daily paper, never read the news. I'm only concerned about my mom and collecting them commas, man, I leave the rest of you. I need a suite on the top floor, always focused on a better view. I've been grinding for a lot more, made it this far, what I'ma stop for? Need me some cars that's insured, a private account that's offshore, and all of my clothes custom. I'm 6'4", fuck a thrift store, invest in all
Hey,
of my
Bones,
niggas.
how's it going?
It's going good, birds. How are you doing, Swain?
Doing good, but I have to admit to something, guys.
What?
Uh-oh. What's that?
I might be the Zodiac Killer.
I didn't know, Swain, you were running for the highest office in the country.
But also, how are you, birds?
I'm good, and I probably shouldn't say that on a podcast. We have lots of listeners. Never talk about politics. You're entitled to your own beliefs. I'm good. I'm out of the loop. I've been traveling all week, but I'm back. I've been playing some Iron Banner, getting back into it, catching up on all the news that's dropped. There's been some news, guys.
Yeah, I talked about politics for 10 minutes on stream, and I lost a third of my viewers.
Yeah. Politics, religion, Thorn, just stay away.
You just said the same 3 words.
Yeah. Well, I'm voting for the Dark Lord Thorn for highest office and head priest.
Of course you are, but all real life news aside, because what even is that? There has been more Destiny news. And you're about to hear
Yay.
about it on the podcast for all things Destiny PvP Crucible Radio, because
Crucible
even though we
Radio.
haven't got to our tasty Crucible stream yet, which happens this coming Wednesday if you're listening to this on Monday,
It'd be so tasty.
we still get jacked up about this stuff, and there's actually a lot of cool things coming into play that we'll be using a lot in the Crucible. So we are going to talk this week about the cool stuff,
Oh, yeah.
about what to do with it,
Oh, yeah.
about what you want to grind for and what you want to get, and then how to prep by going over what we need to do in Destiny before the April update comes out, because there's still work to be done, a few things you want to pick up, namely an emblem and some other fun stuff, and we'll cover that at the end of this episode. But all right, let's jump in. The big thing this week was we know what we're going to be doing, but now we know what we're going to be getting for doing it. And it was basically a little fashion show,
Yeah, it was fun.
which I had no qualms with.
I gotta say, these pictures, these chroma compatible armors, they look good, man.
Yes.
Like, I gotta say, like, for the first time in a long time, like, warlocks are looking like really scary, tough, evil, badass wizard guys instead of, I don't know, like people who just graduated college or
Night Titan looks like a glowing crab.
Well, I like
love
that they look tough, but not in a Halloween sense, because we've had one too many sets of hive armor, if you ask me. And
Yeah,
stuff is
right.
looking dope. I feel guilty though, as the warlock on this show. I want that Hunter Spectar gear so bad. Like, that's all I need. I might actually start playing my Hunter on April 12th. I'm not even sure.
see, that's the one you want. See, I'm gonna similarly betray my class and say that like standard Titan Spectar armor with like the blue and the lifted panels, and it's all gunmetal gray, and it just looks awesome.
So I was right about the Desolate armor, it being just the armor pieces that make you look like a Taken Guardian.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate because I hate that armor set so much.
You gotta get over it.
I'll just play my hunter.
Yeah.
That's the one I'll have all the desolate armor for.
I feel like you could just do the head to get the stink lines coming out of the top, and then mix and match the rest of the set.
Match it with the plain wings with just some other set. It would look pretty cool. Some like a old guard shader maybe.
Kingspire shader. Think it would look good?
Kingspire shader is your answer to everything. Fine. For good reason. It looks freaking awesome, and you're the only one who has it.
But now we know what Chroma does. You know, we had a little tease of it. We saw it in the when they were looking at Her Fury last week, the sniper, and it's confirmed that it goes on both weapons and armor. And they've been showing that off with the Queen's gear, which looks so cool. Oof. I want that purple, not like the others. Listeners know how much I love that gun, but if there's a purple version of it, I want it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that stuff looks really cool. We're getting into this weird goofy zone where everything looks like a Need for Speed car, but like I'm not mad about it.
Yo, I need some more underglow on my armor.
That's Birds' racer character.
Nice.
Yeah.
Vroom Vroom Race Ace really likes
I've
that
never felt so alive as when I was traveling at 100 miles. And that's not how the line goes.
Are you trying to do Vin Diesel? Okay, so we're getting this stuff from the Prison of Elders. We know this gear drops. It's looking real good. There's also this big thing about Sterling Treasure, which is kind of like a treasure box you can open. And it looks like it'll be a reward, or at least guaranteed 3 times a week if you go to the Postmaster, if you complete a game in the special Crucible playlist, and if you finish the level 41 Prison of Elders, which is cool because you get 3 a week, and from there you get the chroma, which can go into weapons and armor, I guess.
You know, I think a thing I like about the Sterling Treasure Box is, okay, yeah, they've got armor in them, but for the most part, it's chroma, ships, sparrows, and boosts. So, I mean, these aren't necessarily things that you need to have. You're not going to be like, I just remember like grinding out my treasure keys in Prison of Elders trying to get Herbie. I'm not going to be grinding out Sterling Treasure Boxes trying to get that one gun. It's a lot of cosmetic stuff. It's a lot of fun stuff, but it's a big old dose of loot 3 times a week. So you really just have to play one of the weekly matches featured in, like, that's it?
It sounds like it.
Seems pretty fair to me.
And you can also buy these from Eververse. And there's a little bit of a drama about the purchase of these boxes, because I guess it drops a piece of gear, and you know, people are freaking out about, well, play to win. But you know, every time this comes up and Eververse has something and someone data mines an item that's actually not going to be in the game and says, look at this, Bungie's putting in something where you can pay $40 to win, that doesn't end up happening. So, man, I'm like the least bit worried about that. I feel like if you want to spend a lot of money and like get a light level 3 piece of gear that may or may not be good, then go for it. But yeah, like Bird said, you're not just buying a Her Benevolence, and you still got to play to get that. So,
yeah. I mean, like,
whatever.
When you know, nobody wants to play a game where it's pay to win, right? And for a lot of games with microtransactions, not console games, but you know, looking at mobile games, that's usually the case. And I feel like we sort of entered an unspoken contract with Bungie when they started rolling out Eververse, which is that they're going to have cool cosmetic stuff, but you don't need to spend anything other than buying the game in order to be competitive and to be able to play all the content. Yeah. And sort of looking at the stuff that drops, we've got armor and we've got a bunch of cosmetic stuff. I think I'm okay with that. And I really have to say, like philosophically opposed to microtransactions. I definitely dropped $20 on some silver because the stuff that they've put out so far is like, it's awesome. It's really well done. It's not the kind of thing that like, oh, I'm just buying some, neon skin for a gun or something like that. Well, like I'm buying an emote. I'm buying something that adds value.
Also, like this update we're getting is free. And they may not just say it, but like I'm sure part of the Eververse, profits went towards making so that this could be free.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was ready to dish out $20 if this was going to be a thing. Like if this was another Dark Below or House of Wolves, I was like, hell yeah, that's fine. So if I'm just putting more money towards like fun emotes and stuff like that, I mean, those emotes are great. It's all, like Bird said, high quality stuff. That's cool. I mean, yeah, all of this stuff, all of this activities, these guns and these armor, that's just installing once you log on.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, other people have obviously different opinions than we do about this. We're a little bit more chill, I would say, about it.
Yo, dude, we're so chill,
We're
dude.
so chill. But there, like, I see it like, if you're gonna be buying the stuff with the intent of like, oh, I need all of the armor and all of this right away. Yeah, you're kind of like taking the fun out of it. Like, the fun of it is playing the game and playing to get the gear and have fun. And, you know, if you want to spend it and take all the fun out of your own game, that's fine by me.
Mm-hmm. You just got to learn to, like, also not covet thy neighbor. Because, look, if someone does get, like, some beautiful drop the first day and they're just like, cool, I got my God roll LDR, that's going to be sick, but don't worry, because why else are you playing this game? It's a looty shooty, man. You got to do the shooty to get the looty.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
That
You're going to
RNG.
have fun.
Well, can I just point out that you mentioned even the possibility of getting a God roll LDR?
I did.
Because that is an option that is back on the table. And I actually have to say, I got my year one God roll LDR. It was my best drop of all of year one. I loved that gun so much. Had short gaze. It had perfect balance. It had not hidden hand, but whatever the sort of year one. And it had final round. It was like the perfect evil year one drop. I had no luck from that point on. But just to know that, like, I used that gun all throughout Trials year one. I used it all throughout Iron Banner. I still pull it out from time to time. And to know that just seeing that orange sniper rifle in my hands again in a year two activity, it's back. We got some year one stuff back.
Yeah, these are some good ones. I mean, I'm not a fan of all of them. I don't know if I had all of them. I definitely remember the Devil You Know being popular and everyone loved their Shadow Price. I'm down for LDR. I'm so stoked to get a longbow again. And I even used the Badger quite a bit. I don't know if that was my PvP gun, but that was a great scout rifle. I'm stoked.
Are you really you Badger hipster coming back here pretending to use that gun? That was my very first purple gun, my very first purple primary. I played all the PvE. I started late. Like I had for months, literally 2 months, that was my main primary. And I drop it casually in conversation. No one has any idea what I'm talking about. Oh, but now it's coming back. Year one. Oh, I love my Badger. I can't wait to get it. Like, yeah, okay, sure,
right, fine,
sure. I had
fine.
a Badger before. It was cool. And had a terrible roll, and I didn't know any better.
I got purple, not like the others. I'm stoked on scout rifles. You can have it.
Yeah. The Satyrian Rapier was one of those Dark Below guns that I just lusted after the year one. I never got around to picking one up, but that was one of like the early recommendations of like, oh yeah, it's a good scout, go get that one. Just to see, and then stuff that was before my time, like Lord High Fixer, that I never had a chance to pick up. Yeah, it's they're showing up, and we get the luck of the draw. They're going to be there in engrams. You're not going to see,
The luck of the Irish.
the same. Yeah, I think what's that? A hand cannon?
The luck of the Irish, the new hand cannon.
So how are they going to be able to get these things, guys?
Well, unlike every other Crucible gun where you can just go buy it from the quartermaster or something like that, these year one that are coming up, the legendaries, they drop from ranking up in factions. So Vanguard and Crucible. And that means you're going to have to play a little bit. But they did tell us that Reputation moves a little bit faster. So it's not so much like, once every 2 weeks you rank up New Monarchy.
Yeah.
I assume it'll go a little faster. Man, to be honest, looking at all this gear, I'm going to be playing some PvE real soon. And a lot of it, I'm not even going to lie.
Well, what I'm most excited about is the Cryptarch rewards coming back. I have my new PSN, and I missed out on getting, God of War? I can't get that. I couldn't get that anymore. And it makes me so mad that I couldn't have, a beautiful all-red shader like that. Look like Iron Man.
Put on the white chroma with the God of War.
Yeah, buddy. Well, in addition to these legendaries and some other cosmetic goodies, we've also got some year one exotics coming back, both weapons and armor. And man, there's some stuff I am happy to see in this list. Oh man.
I feel like the Crucible's about to get real silly for a week once they start dropping, and I'm getting zapped by Queen Breakers and all this stuff. But yeah, there's some interesting ones coming.
Oh man,
what's fitting that all the the Queen's exotics, the Queen's Breaker's Bow, the Lord of Wolves, the Dreg's Promise, that those are all coming back. I'm fitting, considering the rest of the update.
Makes sense.
I'm most excited for Patience and Time. I love that sniper rifle. And just to look at it from a variety standpoint, they're definitely it may be all year one stuff, and you're going to be like, oh, they're bringing back all the old content, but just look at it right
new in quotes.
Yeah, just look at it right now. You're going to probably see, instead of just 1,000 yards there and still Piercer and the occasional black spindle where you go, what the hell is this guy doing right now? You're going to probably see people killing you with Patience and Time, Queen's Breaker's Bow, 1,000 yards there, Longbow Synthesis, the LDR, the Her Fury, and maybe even this Zen Meteor, the new PlayStation exclusive. We won't get too much into it, but it looks dope.
Yeah, we have no idea what it does, but it shoots fire out the side, so that's normally a good thing. People normally like that.
It might cause damage to its user because of the fire.
It just explodes.
It's on fire,
and it covers your screen in soot.
Whatever looks cool is worth it.
We didn't mention the best exotic weapon coming back, which is Universal Remote. Because now I can be that guy.
Shotgun sniper.
No, you got to be Mr. Shotgun.
Oh,
double shotguns.
Get right in your face.
Well, I got to be able to use my Party Crasher too.
And we got some exotic armor. We've got Purifier Robes, Eternal Warrior, Lucky Raspberry, the Arachnid. Did anybody use that? I don't think so. Feedback Fence, Kepri Sting, Sunbreakers, and Glasshouse. Now, we do know that in the past, Bungie has tweaked these a little bit. So when they did finally make their appearance in year 2, right around the December update, they did have some tweaks. So we have no idea what could be going down with these. I'm excited to see them either way. I think because a lot of the ones that are coming up are maybe the coolest looking ones to mess with shaders. And I just want to wear Feedback Fence whenever I'm in the tower. It's just the coolest piece of gear.
So I have to say, there's one of these in particular I've just been waiting for, and interestingly enough, I didn't really use it in year 1. Kepri's Sting. It's got the invisibility, and I'm not really running Blade Dancer anymore, so cool to play with that. It's got the backstab. It's always fun. But what I'm hoping is that when this guy comes across in year 2, it has that primary loader, because that solves a big problem when we're not using the sort of all legendary sweaty setup, where I'm trying to say, okay, well, I've got these arms that have got hand cannon loaders, but they're not high enough light. But if I want to get my discipline strength build, I've got to use these, or I can only do pulses or scouts if this is what I'm going for. To just have the ability to say everything is covered and possibly re-roll Kepri's a couple different times with the glass needles. So I've got all of my different builds available when I'm not, going for the all legendary setup. That's one that just seems like a very practical one to have back. I'm also kind of psyched, even though, probably it's not going to have the same glory it did in year 1, just to see Lucky Raspberry coming back, because I pretty much wore that exclusively. My Lucky Raspberry from year 1 smells so bad because I never, ever took it off. And it'll be good to get that in year 2.
I think I'm looking forward to the Purifier Robes. I'm interested to see if it impacts the Sunsinger game a little bit, because, currently in Trials... not really in any other 3s, just in Elimination. The self-res, it's very, very popular. I don't know if it's the best move on a Sunsinger. I would say go with Radiance and get that increased damage and pop it before you die, and then just have a stronger super when you're pulling off those 1v3s. I don't really run self-res anymore, but that really could make it, a stronger option and make those self-reses a little more worth it. And if you're doing it right, maybe you're not getting sniped out of them so easily. I don't know. I think it could change up the game, but yeah, I think just in general across the board, the subclasses that I run now, I'm wearing the same piece of exotic, and I just want to mix it up. I want to start playing with new stuff, and that's what this is all about. Just new stuff to mess around with.
So we're going to have all of this great new stuff. Where are we going to put it, Bones? I know you don't have a problem with this.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to throw it in the vault. Is that a special? I don't get it.
They're adding another page of vault space into the armor, weapons, and general items.
I guess I'm happy to see that there's, I usually try and keep at least, 5 or 10 empty slots just so it's never an issue. And plus there's like, I'm trying to learn how to tidy up my life and throw away stuff I don't need. It's good practice. But can I just say, like, the technical whatever they had to do behind the scenes to somehow wring another page out of the vault, because they would have given that to us a long time ago if it were easy. I cannot imagine either somebody got incredibly lucky stumbling on some tricky way to do it, or they've had teams of scientists working day in and day out to say, how can we get one more page into the vault? Kudos to you, Bungie. Nicely done.
I'm just imagining like early story mode missions where you like walk in and everything is just empty and you're like, oh, this is where they got the vault space. It's like, just like, all right, remove the graphics from this story mode. Nothing's in there. You walk into a blank room.
The walls anymore.
Yeah, I give people a hard time for hoarding in this game. Javier,
I have a lot of masks. And that makes my
the masks, yeah. But I do understand why stuff has sentimental value. I don't necessarily hang on stuff for nostalgic purposes, but I kind of learned my lesson going into year 2, realizing that
where's your Matador, bro?
I miss it. I kind of want those guns, and yeah, they do have value. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound like a tryhard, but I play to win, right? That's what we do here, and it's good to hang on to stuff and to have the space to do it. So maybe some iteration down the line, maybe months from now, I still want to pull this gun out and say like, whoa, this thing really kicks ass. I don't have to constantly delete. So even if I'm not trying to, I'm not hanging on to all my Vault of Glass gear and all that. But if I get a nice roll and it drops and I'm not ready to use it right away, at least I know it's safe and sound in the vault. And yeah, like Bird said, that's impressive. I'm just mimicking Birds this episode. I've said like Bird said 4 times, but you know what?
Clearly I'm insightful and I'm on a good roll. So I'll take it as a compliment.
You're a smart guy.
I think a good way to look at it is like, what can you regain if you want it? So like Vault of Glass stuff, Crota's End stuff, all that, like pretty easy. Like don't keep exotics you won't use in your vault. All that. Do some spring cleaning. Make some space.
I mean, I think one thing we did learn going into year 2 is that, you don't necessarily have to save every single drop you've got on every single gun. But in year 2 and sort of continually through year 2, we've seen pretty significant balance updates. I guess we'll start to find out. But I would not be surprised if some stuff after this update, some of the weapon archetypes are going to get tweaked a little bit. Like, we know that there are some guns that are stronger than others right now, regardless of role. So I've always enjoyed, even if it's just year 1 stuff I've been holding on to have sort of 1 or 2 guns within each weapon archetype. So like for auto rifles, for example, I've got a fast firing, a slow firing, and a middle ground one. I'm pretty much just using my Doctor of Passion and my Arminius right now. But I want to hold on to the others because who knows? Maybe it's hand cannons. Maybe it's like fast firing sniper rifles or something, or some of those fast charging fusions are going to get a tweak, and you're going to be glad that you have those to experiment with, even though they didn't make sense before. Whatever balance update we end up getting.
That's coming next week too. We're going to have a ton to talk about next week.
I'm already whelmed. I'm going to be overwhelmed by that time. Oh.
I hear that Bungie's adding another page of whelming in this update too, so you
oh, nice.
Won't have to clear anything out.
Can I buy that from Tess Evers?
Yeah, it's cost silver though, so sorry.
Ooh.
All right, guys. Well, we know this update's coming. We've got a date now. We can start counting the days. I know, Bones, you had suggested this, and I'm totally on board. When this update comes, we're going to get a new higher light level. I am ready for the first time, really, to grind this one out. I want to be max light level before anyone else is, which I have never even come close to doing in the past. And so when that day one rolls around, what's that, April 12th, we got to be ready. We got to be prepared.
Yes, we do. And because I feel more motivated to play Destiny now, just with the hype fueling me, I got to put it to good use. I'm playing Crucible and I'm grinding stuff out, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do before the 12th that'll just have you set to go and jump right in. And of course, it's not great to burn through it on the first day and say, well, I've done the April update. When is the sequel coming out? That can sometimes can be a downside to it. But, while we're playing, there's stuff to prep for. And, of course, we want to get our hands on all this cool gear. This comes out on Monday, this episode, if you're listening to it now. And yes, Iron Banner is around for one more day. And if you haven't cashed in those yellow Iron Banner bounties that give you marks, I'd hang on to those. I'm just leaving them on my characters. For now, I'm not super worried about reaching rank 5 if I don't do it a little more naturally. But just having marks so that when I want to buy something cool, I buy it and then I have more to cash in. It means I can just spend marks like crazy on the 12th. So I'm hanging on to those. And you can do that from trials as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing I did about a month and a half ago was, I'd sort of bought everything from the tower that I wanted to buy. The legendary marks weren't super useful. But as soon as I'd get maxed out with 200 marks, I would just run to the Vanguard Quartermaster and buy a bunch of planetary materials, just buy one of each and keep looping and then build them back up again. I still want to be sitting at 200, but I had the very uncomfortable experience of running out of planetary materials in this update because you're getting all this new armor, you're unlocking stuff. And that is a type of Destiny poverty I never want to be back to. I never have any glimmer, but that's normal for me. So if you've got the marks and you're just sitting on them, go ahead and exchange them for something that doesn't have a cap on it.
Do you guys know that I dismantled a lot of materials in year one?
God. Yeah, and we all feel so sorry for you, poor baby. Oh my God.
I dismantled like 900 armor parts, and then I realized, I'm struggling to get armor parts and don't do strikes. So I couldn't level stuff up for so long in the Taken King.
Remember like Sapphire Wire? What was that? Is that what it was called?
Oh, and Sapphire Wire.
Plasteel plating.
Hadium filaments, was it? Helium? I don't even know.
We're forgetting.
Year one problems, am I right?
Yeah. You kids today.
But yeah. Don't get rid of this stuff. The only thing you want to be spending from now until April 12th is marks on materials. And that's when you have a total max out of marks and you're going to be playing the daily anyways. So this really isn't like work. I mean, this is going to happen naturally if you're one of the people playing this game every day and you're just doing your dailies and stuff like that. So have all those materials ready, have enough weapon parts and stuff like that, and then you'll just be ready to go. So when you get that new piece of gear, you can infuse it and you can level it up right away.
Yep. Well, you mentioned infusing too. There's one more thing you probably shouldn't do until this update rolls around, which is, hey, you get yourself a nice 310, 320 drop. You're sort of looking at your primaries and see what's going to come up. Just wait. We now finally have got a 1-to-1 ratio. It's what used to be like forever level 29. Now it's forever 319. That mechanic, by the way, very, very frustrating. But hey, now it's very straightforward. And hey, you might just be eking out, a couple more pieces of light from each one. And we're going to have a new higher light level anyways. But just take advantage of that, and any sort of infusion you have planned, just sit on it for a little bit.
You know what? I want to go on a tangent about that. You summed it up nicely, but oh my God, is that a cool feature? The 1-to-1 ratio when you're infusing, if you put something that has a light level higher into something below it, it goes right to that light level. That is really cool because I have OCD with these 319s and 317s. I don't like these weird odd numbers when I know the max is 320. And I've had a 319 1,000-yard stare since the forever ago. And it bugs me that it's just one number below the max 320.
and you're going to waste a 320 getting it there that last bit of life.
I
Just
would.
that one
I mean,
light.
Yeah, but the fact that you got to do a raid 4 times and get like 4 special drops if you're lucky enough to get them high enough to then infuse them into your gear that you want to use, it's like I get it, but that's just frustrating. So I love the instant satisfaction it's going to give when that thing goes right to the light level you want it to be. Bravo, bravo.
So there's another thing you could probably spend your legendary marks on, and that is some gear from your favorite factions, from your Crucible, from your Vanguard. If there's anything you want, I would say pick it up now. Future War Cult has an amazing rocket launcher, the Vertigo, with Prox Rocks and Javelin. The Crucible vendor has Deal Breaker Auto, crowd control, glass half full, and brace frame. That's a pretty good roll. There's the
You still got
Hawksaw.
that Hawksaw, baby. Gotta get the Hawksaw.
You want the Hawksaw, pick it up. And Havoc Pigeon. The Havoc Pigeon. You never know. Some of this stuff, it could be more useful a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, like we already said, we don't know what's going to happen. Things change and stuff, but these are good rolls. I looked through the tower right before we recorded this, and I was like, "What's actually pretty decent that I've kind of forgotten about?" Because I know back in the day when it was like, "Well, I need a new gun," it was more like waiting for drops because I just didn't have the marks, and that was a grind. But now that I'm just sitting on marks, I want to pick up some of these stuff. But yeah, I mean, I also really recommend the Righteous 7 from New Monarchy. I actually use that one and have it currently. And I think that's a gun you want to grab because we don't know what would happen with these vendors if stuff disappears. And then if suddenly something changes and everyone's going like, "Hey, this gun I had in my vault is so amazing. What are you guys using?" And you're like, "Ah, I should have picked that up."
Yeah, stuff could change. They could change the rolls on everything. So be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Bones, I'm surprised you didn't mention the Vanguard Quartermaster Not Like the Others. I know that your favorite Not Like the Others has a very interesting role on it, but this one is a fun one that I recommend. It's got the reflex scopes on it, but it also has, I want to say it's reactive reload and crowd control, whatever. It's 2 sort of short-term damage boosting along with explosive rounds. And that is if you're going to use a legendary scout rifle and you don't have a good one yet, I strongly recommend picking this one up. Granted, you might be able to get a shiny new purple version of it after the drop. But those 2 combinations, if you can get both of those damage boosting perks engaged at the same time, especially with explosive rounds, it is very frustrating to play against, which is really what we go for. What's that?
So you haven't played with me the last couple days, but after we talked to Noosk and Sage from months ago now, and they were saying everyone's got to use the Tuonella. That's what's apparently doing really well. I finally got one.
Yeah, I got one too.
Oh, yeah?
I was using a Tuonella. It's smooth. It's silky. It's got the small bore, real low-sized magazine, but it's good. I might say that my Not Like the Others, with the rolls that I have on it, it's still better. Like, it's so good. Maybe that's why I didn't think to recommend the listeners to buy a Not Like the Others, because I want that gun for me.
That's like one of those things that I really like about this. Since the Taken King, is that some people might like the Omelan stuff a little bit better. And like you probably like that. Like, it may just come down to the way it feels. Like the Omelan feels a little bit different. It feels a little bit like smoother the way the shots go. And that might throw you off if you're used to like something more visceral, like Not Like the Others.
That's actually a good point, Swain, because back in the day when I was starting to learn how to shoot first person, it was all through Halo. And in Halo, it was the Marine weapons and the Covenant weapons. And the Covenant, was all based on plasma. It has, the difference between hit scan and just instant bullets. And I always liked the feel of those Marine weapons because they were just guns that shot bullets. And I think you might be right that Omelan vibe is a little more the liquid stuff. It kind of feels different. Like it doesn't have that same click for me. And I don't know. You might be onto something there.
Yeah, like I really like the Haka stuff, and it's grown on me. Like I started the Taken King with an Apple of Discord, which I actually really like. I like the feel of it.
Man, if I could recommend one more gun right now that I'm playing with, and I feel so bad, listeners, I apologize that I'm just behind on this.
Wait, hold on. Can I savor this a little bit? Just, yes, please, please go on.
Well, and I don't have to feel that bad because I feel like we've mentioned it a few times on the show, but my favorite secondary right now is the Thiessen fusion rifle. I know I was just saying that Omelon feel doesn't feel as good, but oh, this gun is nice.
Fusions are garbage.
I'll admit it.
Shut up.
Oh, I meant to infuse my infusion rifle. Sorry, Swain. That was what you call a dank meme.
Oh, so dank.
I question the dankness of that meme, but go on. Still satisfying for me.
Yeah, so I did actually remember to go to the gunsmith. I was waiting on it. I hear from my my fusion rifle enthusiasts, aka battle crates and battle boxes, and Mr. Bird's here, that there might be better rolls out there on the Thiessen, but I got one with hand laid stock, so it maxes stability on that thing, and it's also got rangefinder. And I find that max stability on a Thiessen is all I need. I literally just melt people, and it's just like, I've never felt so good using a fusion. Like, I get it. Everyone says, yeah, they don't feel right. There's something wrong. They're not fitting the meta, but it's because you didn't have a Thiessen with hand laid stock. I think that's really what it is. I feel really confident with that gun now, and I can say that I confidently use fusion rifles. It's just very satisfying to be using something brand new to me at this stage in the game that we have right now.
Well, I mean, and you talk about sort of the sound and the feel of the gun and the Omelon stuff. I have to say, I kind of agree with you guys. I'm not crazy necessarily about the Omelon feel, except for the fusion rifle, because it's just like it's charged up. It sounds like I'm like casting a spell every time I shoot this thing. Yeah, and just to see a little bit of purple ash float away. Did you happen to get one with accelerated coils on it? I know sometimes hand-laid stock and accelerated coils show up together.
I do not. The other option was, I think, Snapshot or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that Thiessen is such a versatile gun. I've got, I think, 4 of them now with different rolls. And actually, my first one, people say braced frame is the one you want. My first one had hand-laid stock, and I really learned fusion rifles with that gun. When you're able to max out stability, it's awesome. But if you happen to get one with accelerated coils on it, you'll find it almost sort of puts it still hits as hard, but it puts it into a different archetype. Braced frame and rangefinder, of course, is a great combination. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that there's still, you're still getting sick drops that make you excited this close to a new update.
It's nice, right? Like, it can happen. It might be a long time in between them, but you occasionally get that drop and you're just like, hold up, pause. This has amazing perks. I'm about to go level this up and use it right now. And that was one of those times. It was so fun.
So we talked a little bit about this last week, going to the lighthouse, getting that flawless in year 2. And now they're making it a little bit more incentivized. If you want that, how do you say this? Hick jacket?
Hick jacket?
Hick jacket?
I'm usually pretty good at pronouncing stuff. I have no idea. I've been saying hick jacket.
Hick jacket?
I think it's just words that, like, it exists
Sweet
in
emblem.
text, but you can't talk about it, Like, there's no actual way to speak it.
Oh, dude, it's an actual word. I just Googled this. It's hick jacket. It's a noun. It's a literary term that means an epitaph. Now to Google,
which means
epitaph. A phrase or statement written in memory of a person who has died, especially as an inscription on a tombstone. So you get that from putting enough people in the trial's grave.
Osiris dead confirmed.
More than just a record label.
Well, if you want that emblem, the one you get for going flawless, you have until the update on the 12th to get this done. So
get cracking.
Get cracking.
Hit up your local streamer.
Yeah, hit up your local streamer. Tell Dr. Lupa I said, suh.
Tell him I said, saw, dude.
Saw, dude.
I don't care for that meme.
It's not a meme, man. It's the way, it's how people are.
Birds doesn't even know what memes are.
Hey, meme. All right.
You're the worst.
I'm definitely not the best. I'll give you that much. Guys, we got another week until the next big drop. We're grit our teeth, bide our time. Just wait for it. It's coming. But stay tuned. As soon as we get this next reveal, this next Bungie update, we're gonna be here next week to talk about it. And
you know it.
I hear they're going to be talking about a little something, little place I like to go to called the Crucible next week.
Yeah,
So
we'll tear that down. Talk about it inside and out next week.
tear it apart.
Hi, John.
Yep, John, we're coming for you. Take your time.
I can't wait. Until then, I will be grinding for the grasp of Malak and biding my time, man. All right, let's just end this and go to sleep, because when you go to sleep, things come faster to you. I want to go to bed. I know it's 9:00, but let's go night for a week.
Yo, doctor, can you put me in a chemical coma until the next Bungie update?
How drunk can I get to fall asleep but also not feel bad?
Yeah, I'm going to need about 136 hours or so. So however much that is. Silly. All right, guys. Till next time.
Let me take you guys out of here. As always, you can find us on the internet at Crucible Radio on Twitter, Crucible Radio on YouTube. You can now catch me and Bones on the Planet Destiny channel.
Hell yeah.
We have dedicated time slots for streaming. I stream at 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Specific time on Tuesdays, and Bones is the same time on Wednesdays. So
Specifically on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific.
yeah, there you go. So check us out. Come hang out. Hit that sub button.
Man, I wish I had a callback joke to end the episode. I'm just too excited. I can't think of one. Let's stop.
Goodbye.
Later.
May.
No.
Wonder why I hesitate to bring a kid up in this world. Police trying to put niggas in coffins for coughing. It's like we running through a dark tunnel trying to see the light. Searching for someone or something I could be loyal to.
Music this week comes from Just Keith, coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Check him out. It's soundcloud.com/justkeith13. If you're a musician and would like your music featured on Crucible Radio, just send us an email. It's crucibleradio@gmail.com.